What's up everyone, it's the Mattress Guy speaking to you live from Japan. Now today is the 5th of July, Sunday, 2026, and I believe it is still the 4th of July over there in the United States, and they should be celebrating the 250th Independence Day with hot dogs and hamburgers. Good on them, woohoo! So, as for Japan, we are still in this cloudy and rainy season over here, and thank God I don't have to worry about running out of water, for the next few weeks, if not for the next few months. At least when I was a kid, guys, I never thought I would be living in a time where I would have to worry about counting every drop of water. That's my exaggeration and my way of saying, as usual, and from the point the sky stops raining. Now, I used to, laugh at my friend, who was joking about saying, do you know how many third world children, would drink that drop of water? And that was when I was, tipping the canteen, upside down for fun and laughing, right, laughing. Ooh. Fast forward 30 years, guys. Look at me. And now look at us, maybe. And I'm the one who is being worried about exactly when the next rain's going to be. And that's when the moment the sky stops raining, right? We are living in that kind of time, unfortunately. And by the way, if there is anything like a saving grace about living in Japan, right, and being without rain in the future for maybe several months, if that ever happens, right, or rather, when that happens, right, it will happen, right. And while there is going to be a worry about water for bathing and showering, and we still have plenty of natural resource for drinkable water. I know this is American, but and this is because virtually half the country in Japan is made of a range of mountains, big and small, and they're like being a natural filter for rainwater that was accumulated maybe decades ago. So hopefully we don't have to worry about importing water in the future. Yeah, well, not for many decades anyway. Guys. By the way, I know there is a lot of things going on in the world nowadays in a negative sense. One of which being an economic turmoil, such as people, literally walking away from using US dollars. Wow, which I'm sure that is going to have a repercussion all around the world, right? But you guys, talking about walking away or resigning, if that sounds more, resigning, if that sounds more spot on in English, have you noticed that people in general are not just walking away from the US dollars or anything that stands out in the news, but they're quietly walking away from many, many other things, right? Such as walking away from going to work, walking away from going to school, right? Walking away from marriage. You see that often in other channels, walking away from buying new things because people are forced to be more conservative, of course, in this economic turmoil. And it almost feels like people are giving up on things, or giving up on functioning as they were meant to be. So how did we get here? Well, I don't have a definitive answer, right? I don't have any numbers to show, but I have a figurative one at that. And that is the whole point about this video today. Just a while ago, you remember I briefly talked about water, yeah? Didn't I? Water. When you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, take a shower, and you go about doing your business for the day. So our day starts with water, and there should be, we should be grateful, right, for the water, at the beginning of the day. Now, I have mentioned in my previous videos that, where there is water, where there is fire, there is civilization, but not the other way around, right? Never the other way around. We have civilization thanks to water and fire. So, we are in control of nothing. But it is the nature that is in control of us human beings, right? So, and while we go about doing our business every day, should we not be missing being grateful for a lot of things, including but not limited to, say, being healthy, we're healthy and that we are not disabled in a sense that, unless you are, heavily disabled, that's something else. But most of us can at least type the keyboard, with 10 fingers, yeah? and we have the means to work from home. If you're connected to the internet, which is just about everyone in the world, and if that's not the case, you have the means to commute, right? That being public or private transport, yeah. And we have colleagues and with great skills in the workplace, of course, who are helping you to put food on the table, right? So many people, many things to thank every day. However, here's where it gets important, right? I seldom see people being grateful for anything nowadays, quintessentially speaking. Mm. And in fact, on the contrary, I see more people raising their middle finger. No, I'm not going to do that in the front of camera, but and a middle finger at anyone and anything. I mean, what the hell? They all look pissed off. It has been about being grateful, right? That fundamentally separates us humans from the animals. Yeah. Otherwise, we are just being wild animals out there and are living for survival, like every man for himself. And that's sort of ugly, and it sort of defeats the purpose of being human. And when people lose their gratefulness in general, figuratively saying this, it's like everything and everyone around you in your vicinity, that were once functioning as they were meant to be, and it ceases to function in mass, if not all at once in unison. And that is, I think that is, why you're seeing people walking away from everything. Because you know how you're sort of, for one, that you're treated like an expendable cell phone, right? That people keep on throwing away and without giving a second thought every time the new one comes out. And all this, right? All this didn't happen overnight, guys. This niche of being ungrateful has sort of accumulated throughout the generation until we came to this point where the technology is so great, like AI for one, on one hand, but the people on the other hand, right, are now being less than human or less than qualified to control such technology. I mean, why do companies fire people? That's because the AI can do the job, right? Saying that we are not a charity. Now I understand that, and yet they usually pose as a philanthropist in a charity events. However, they don't see how circumvented the event is. Anyway, now we came this far, so I don't think anything we do will change anything back to normal overnight like magic. But how about we start our day every day and being grateful for water and fire hereafter? And talking about being grateful, and I just want to let you know a little story about this guy in South America. I don't know his name, but I just saw this footage on a TV, and he saved an injured penguin one day, and then he continued to feed the penguin until it became well enough to swim back to South Pole. Right? That's nice enough, but be that as it may, but and then what happened later is that the same penguin came back to see the man once every year, as if to show its gratitude. Wow. Now, while this, right, is an extreme case to bring about, if not cherry-picked one, it nevertheless highlights the epitome of gratitude we all lack together as being a human being, right? Well, anyway, I hope I have said it right today for the better of our future, and I will see you again soon. Have a nice day.